What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to this episode of English Turks, where I review your favorite Turkish series with and without English subtitles. And I just want to say, I'm back, guys. I'm sad, but I'm back. And today we're going to be talking about Dogdugun ev Kaderindir, episode 36, 37, and 38. Guys, I am so sorry. I have been gone for a minute, but let me tell you why. I have been avidly just reviewing Dogdugun ev Kaderindir. I kind of put all the other shows on pause just because of everything going on with Dogdugun ev Kaderindir. As you guys know, we recently lost Mehdi, and I'm gonna get into that in this review, but I was just not ready to accept it. So midway through watching through episode 36, finding out that, Ibrahim was leaving the show and therefore his character was going to be killed off the show, I just didn't want to face the facts. So I kind of just stopped watching the show for the past 2 weeks. But once episode 38 came out and I saw the fragment and the funeral, I just realized I just have to suck it up and watch it. And so that's what I did today. I finished watching episode 36, watched all of 37, crying and bawling my eyes out, and I just finished watching episode 38. And I wrote down some notes because I know this is going to be hard for me to get through this, but I just wanted to share what my thoughts were, how everything went, and kind of get some perspective about what you guys thought and how you guys felt about this. And so, as you all know, Mehdi was leading this whole gang for Cengiz Bey, and he decided to walk away from it. And before he could walk away from it, he was basically, badmouthed. The whatever, that scrawny piece of garbage badmouthed him to Cengiz. I don't even understand, because in the beginning I really felt like Cengiz was a good guy, but I guess in trying to justify them shooting Mehdi, he had to turn into someone bad. And so all of a sudden, all the things that Mehdi was doing, not allowing the leaders to hurt their suppliers and stuff like that, I guess that's why they kind of made Cengiz Bey not like that he was doing these things. Because remember, the whole time Mehdi kept telling him, listen, I don't want to get involved in these things and all this stuff. I don't want to get involved in bad things. And Cengiz kept saying, no, we do good by our people and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, the whole storyline just began to change a lot. And so he was obviously trying to tell Cengiz that he didn't want to be in it anymore. And then Cengiz kind of doubled whatever money he gave to get Mehdi out of jail. He doubled it and forced Mehdi to try to give it to him within 24 hours. And within that time, they shot up Zeynep's house, they shot up Badish's house, because we all know, if he's going to hit Mehdi and hit him hard, where is he going to hit him? What are the two things? Well, there's three, but technically in the eyes of Cengiz Bey and in the eyes of those men, who does he really care about? He cares about Zeynep and he cares about Mushkan. Now, he does care about Cemile, but they don't really see that fire running after, want to be with kind of thing until they look at Zeynep and Mushkan. So they know that's where his heart is, and so they decided to attack him through Zeynep, and so they end up shooting up Zeynep's house. I really don't understand why they shot up Badish's house, but I guess they wanted to give him a bad name so he wouldn't have any support. I'm not absolutely convinced, but I'm thinking that's what it was. And so they did all those things, and then Mehdi, all of a sudden, the Mehdi that is always so sure of himself, so confident in his decisions, no matter how wrong they were, all of a sudden he seemed so scattered. And when he talked with Badish, it was so clear. Even though I don't want him to be with Zeynep and all that stuff, I just wanted him to have just hug her or something, because that's where his heart is. And he told Badish, I leave everybody to you. And then I started to get triggered because I knew that nothing good was going to come from this. And then when Ali Riza Bey, when he brought his a friend in, I was really hoping like, oh my gosh, okay, this friend's gonna make something happen. This friend's gonna change things. Why the heck did he leave the house? How is he expecting New to keep him in the house? I mean, come on. That was the one thing. I was like, why would you leave New to keep this guy in the house? But New went with him. I mean, so a lot of things happened, that ripple effect, and one of those things was, you know, Ali Riza came, they decided to take Jamile and take Zainab and go back to Barish's house, but in the midst of driving, which the guy offered, you know, hey, let me give you some security to go with you, and they didn't take it. Obviously, they're watching the house. Like, I don't know why Ali Riza Bey didn't realize that. Like, of course they're gonna be watching Mehdi day and night, so they're gonna know when Zainab leaves. They're gonna know when, you know, there's a change. They're watching all of them. And so Zainab ends up getting kidnapped, and then Mehdi finds out and runs after her. They give him the address, and he knew he was gonna die. I mean, he literally said his goodbyes to Jamile. I mean, when he was talking to Jamile, man, my heart started to beat so fast, because I knew, like, once he says goodbye to his sister, like, that's it. And so the tears started to come up, but they weren't fully out yet. And then he talked to New, and he was saying goodbye to New, and oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh. So, like, I want to rewind just really quickly before I get into, like, the whole thing. In the beginning, when they shot up the houses, everyone was like so sure it was Mehdi, which I thought was really ridiculous. Only Badish had the good common sense to say, hey, I'm not taking his side, but let's think, this is Mehdi, who would never do anything to hurt Zainab. And what does it profit him to shoot up my house, a lawyer that could stick him in jail for life? What does it profit him to shoot up Zainab's house when Zainab he loves to the bottom of his heart? Like, what would profit him to do that? Like, he doesn't even know that they found Banal, so why would he shoot up their house to begin with? You know, that makes no sense. And only Badish was thinking that. Everybody was so quick to jump on it and say that, you know, that he was the one that was doing all of this stuff. So anyway, back to him, like, Zainab ran outside, tried to run away, and then they caught her, and then he came, and then he started shooting up everything, and then, like, oh my gosh, I really wanted to curse in this just then, but, like, he ran out of bullets, and honestly, if he didn't run out of bullets, he would not be dead, but he ran out of bullets, and New was lying on the ground, and obviously the guy picks up the gun, aims it at Zainab and his daughter, and he literally just jumps in the way and takes every single last bullet that was aimed for her and his daughter. And when he fell on the floor, like, as he was taking his last breaths, I was like, oh my gosh, let him see Zainab, let him see Zainab, let him see Zainab. And he did, and oh my gosh, I was like so torn apart. Like, can you hear it in my voice, guys? I am just like, oh my gosh. So I was like, oh my gosh, at least he got to see his love before he died. Before he closed his eyes, he got to see his love. And Zainab sadly was there for the entire thing, and so that was horrible. New was there, and I was just like broken. Like, there's only one other character that I've ever been like broken about. I'm gonna place this picture here. He was in, I can't even remember the show right now, but he was in the show that I was watching, and I tell you, I bawled for days when he passed away. And if you haven't seen this show, you gotta watch it. And to be honest, like, even though that character in that show, and he died in the show, like, they replaced him with another character that was really good and kind of really came in and filled the gap. That actor filled in the gap, but it was really hard to lose him as a character, and I just felt that heartbroken about Mehdi. And I just want to say, like, every time I watch an Ibrahim film, I'm always upset in the end. Like, well, not the movie that he played. The movie that he played was, I didn't get upset about, but some of the other ones that he plays, he always leaves me upset. And so I was upset to lose Mehdi, despite all, like, no one deserves to die. When they finally told Jamile over the phone, that's when I just started bawling. I started bawling, and honestly, like, the fact that they all went to the funeral, I'm sorry, I was a little pissed. I was like, you guys don't deserve to be at his funeral. You don't deserve to be there. Sakine, Neriman, They don't deserve to be there. You know, a Sultan, she can be there. Emine can be there. Even Badish people can be there. But Nermin and Sakine, they don't deserve to be there. But they were there. They were trying to be supportive, but Sakine is the most selfish woman I have ever met. I don't care how she was raised or whatever. Like, she has no freaking compassion for anything. She makes it about herself. She's freaking blaming herself the whole time. She keeps saying, if I hadn't let you meet Mehdi, and then still talking bad about the man. He's already dead in the ground. Leave the man alone. We get it. He did bad things. But you know what? He jumped. If it wasn't for him jumping in front of those bullets, Zainab would not be here right now. Mushka would not be here right now. So shut up about all the things that he's done, and shut up about the fact that you asked her to marry him. Like, we don't give a damn. And then also, like, she's doing that in front of Zainab, and as Zainab is trying to grieve, she's still bringing up crap. Like, I'm like, shut up. And then she did that when she went to Jemile's house. Like, why the heck are you going to her house? We all know you didn't like him. You didn't care for him in the end. So, like, just shut up. Like, I don't understand why she even went there. You see how I get heated up about this? I just had to write down, like, sucking it is so freaking selfish. Even Nariman, who couldn't stand him either, who talked bad about him up until his last breath, even she had the decency to shut her mouth and just give her condolences. Like, what the hell, dude? Even she did that. Like, come on. But anyway, I couldn't. So, you know, they go through the funeral, and Zainab's is obviously dealing with this poorly, and it's not even, you know, because she still loves Mehdi, because no matter what, she'll always love Mehdi, but she's over that significant part. What's breaking her apart is the fact that she watched him die, and she feels like she's part of the blame because she ran out of that house, and because she made herself a target that she knew he would not allow to die. So I think that's what she's really trying to deal with. And the fact that she didn't let Badish touch her and try to comfort her was a difficult thing, because, I mean, if you think about it, the man died for you. He got shot protecting you, and you know for a fact that he loved you till his last breath. I think I would find it a little bit uncomfortable to allow my new man to be comforting me after my ex-man has just died for me. Like, I think that's a difficult thing to have to deal with. You know, on one hand, he did horrible things to her. On the other hand, she knows he loved her with all his heart. Like, that's difficult. And so I can understand why she didn't want, you know, Badish to touch her. But honestly, what really, like, brought me to tears the most is just Jemile and Banal, when Banal was apologizing and all those things. Like, Jemile and Banal, really, it tore me up. But honestly, I think Jemile is gonna have a breakdown, because if you can remember when Mushkan passed away, like, she was torn to pieces. And to think about it, both her siblings died by gunshot. Like, that's crazy. And so the way she reacted with Mushkan, I feel like they're gonna write her character to eventually burst when it comes to Mehdi. But I think she felt like it was coming. So, I mean, even in the room when Nu started talking, I'm like, man, Nu is speaking such truth. Yes, he did a lot of bad things, but still he was Mehdi, and he had his good side too. We all have our bad side, we all have our issues, and so did Mehdi. But at the end of the day, did Mehdi do good for all the people in that room? Yes, he did, all the way up to Neriman. He did good for all of them. He did good for all of them. You know, and so it's hard, you know, to be sitting there and all you want to do is think about the bad. The man's already in the ground. Bury his bad and just remember his good for now, you know, and don't forget the bad, but don't allow the bad to define him for the rest of his days since he's gone. You know what I mean? And so one thing that Sultan had said was that, you know, Mehdi created, well, it wasn't Sultan, it was Nu, that Mehdi had, one of them said it, I can't remember, but he had created this family among them, and I think that that's so true. If it wasn't for Mehdi, none of them would be together right now. It was Mehdi that got Zainab her job back, which is why she ended up meeting, you know, being closer to Badish. Like, it was because of Mehdi. It was because of Mehdi that they all ended up in the same home. It was because of him. So he did create that family. Now, I wish Ibrahim great success in his new series. Am I gonna watch it? I don't know, because I don't know if I want to deal with another heartbreak or letdown or something from the characters that he plays. He does such a great job, but in the end they always do something to just freaking get at me, and so I don't know if I want to watch that. But I hope that they mention Kibri, like who's gonna tell Kibri, you know, and stuff like that. Of course, she's playing in a new series. The actress that played Kibri is in a new series, and so obviously she can't come back and, you know, deal with everything that's happened. But I hope they still mention her like they mentioned the mom, because the mom is still alive. And then also Jemile's daughter, she's not really mentioned, but she's still alive. Like, there's so many things going on. Like, I hope that at least they're mentioned. But it seems like the show is taking a new turn, because now Zainab's sister is back, and at first you think she wants to be friends with her sister and really get back into the family. But now they're trying to make it seem like she's angry with them, and so she's going to help Ekrem and Ekrem's lawyer wife girl to get back at them. And honestly, I don't understand how they dug that deep to get into Zainab's life, to realize she has a missing sister and then use the sister against them. I just don't get it. But obviously, and then honestly, her reasoning is kind of really dumb, so I don't know why they're making that a thing. Like, they're gonna pay back for all the stuff, you know, everything that I had to go through. You went through that because you chose to run away. Like, I don't get it. So what does Zainab have to do with that? Zainab was a child. She's actually having to deal with the crap that you put her through from running away. That's why her mom is like that. So, you know, I don't know how they're going to make that story work. I will watch the next episode. Let me know what you guys think. Are you still going to be watching it? How did you feel about Mehdi's passing? Don't forget to like this video and click that subscribe button. And I will see you guys next week, because I'm back. I've gotten through it. I watched the death scene. I've cried. I've had my peace. And I'm back. Alright, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.